How can you take control of your life? How can you finally let go of those limiting beliefs that have been holding you back for the past few decades, stopping you from growing and leveling up? How can you step out of your comfort zone and unleash your full potential for your business and your personal life? Hi, and welcome to the Self-Worth Accelerator podcast. My name is Sonia Maria Horn, and I'm a mindset and success coach with focus on your self-worth. And every single week, I will be talking with you about how you can raise the awareness of your full potential and unleash those powerful tools for maximum wealth and inner peace. Find out everything about how to stop procrastination so you can finally empower yourself from within. You can do this, and I'm here to show you exactly how. So let's get started right now. Hi there, and welcome to episode number 5. So in today's episode, I will talk about the connection between your self-worth and the quality of life that you live, or even the success that you allow into your life, or not. We will cover how our self-worth can be diminished, and on the flip side, how we can rebuild our self-love and self-worth and take control of any destructive self-talk or limiting beliefs that have been stopping us so far from achieving our next goal or our next level, right? So let's dive right in. I have become a life coach because I want to encourage and inspire people. And I do on a daily basis with my clients. This is what I love to do, and this is what gives me purpose on a daily basis, really. If you remember, during the last episode, I mentioned my mother and how she gave up on her dream of publishing her book after experiencing only one rejection from one publisher. She wrote this book in the late 90s, and I helped her type it out, and it was a lot of energy, a lot of time, and a lot of love went into those papers. And you can imagine it was lots and lots and lots of pages, handwritten by her. So I had to return to London at the time after typing the pages out for her on a typewriter, because that was my hometown. And she called me several months later, I think 2 or 3 months later, she called and said that the publisher had refused to publish the book. And she was devastated, obviously, and she was really, really sad. His reason was that there had already been a very similar book with the same topic just published a few weeks before. And he sent the copy to her and wished her the best of luck for the future. And that was it for my mom. I told her to proceed and to address and send it to other publishers, but she didn't. So that was it. She didn't pursue it any further. What happened now is she took that book out of the wardrobe. It was lying there for, the past years or decade, so to say. And she took it out, and now she's working on it again, 24/7. And she's not going to quit. She's not going to give up. She wants it perfect now, and she's going to address many, many publishers until it will be published. So there you go. And I'm so proud of her, and I'm so humbled that she, didn't refuse to actually admit to that. And instead of that, she turned around and said, yes, you're right. I should have, and I will now. And this chance and this awareness is big. And that's what I'm talking about today as well. It's certain aspects in life that lead us to turn around and to make a change. And if you've listened to previous episodes as well, I do mention the 3 important elements that it takes for us to make a change in life, or to actually pursue further in spite of rejection, in spite of a knockback, in spite of so-called failure, which I don't like the word, but it at the time, then at the moment, it's considered a failure if it doesn't lead us to the success or the goal we want, right? But it's all about this awareness of actually being aware of where we are, that we are at a point where we have the choice to make a difference, where we have the choice to change our path and guide ourselves into another direction of, achieving what we want, into more freedom and more success and into more abundance, more money, more happiness, whatever it is. But this awareness of our current situation, of our present situation, that's obviously essential for us to make a change. So regardless from where you are right now, I'm not saying that life is worthless if you don't achieve big things or, don't have any goals that you want to pursue. It is what it is. It is what you choose it to be, right? There are people who say, I'm perfectly comfortable where I am. I'm happy where I am. I don't need more. I don't want more. And I love my life the way it is. Fantastic. But however, the majority, including me, do want more, do want to grow and do want to learn and expand and find this, something else and just grow. There's no other word for it, really. So, and I would like to, connect to my inner being and expand on so many other levels as well. And it's about ambition and getting to a point where you haven't been before. I'm curious, and staying curious. Children are curious. They want to know everything about anything, right? They're asking questions nonstop. Why should adults stop asking questions? And why should we stop being curious? So that's what it's about, in my opinion. And, it's not about, not talking about the woo-woo spiritual growth necessarily, even though I'm big time into that as well, because I see that as a core base and a major part of our freedom and our happiness from within. But I'm talking about daily happiness and ease and freedom and inner peace kind of a way, that we don't get stressed over minor things happening on the outside, that we're not thrown out of balance each time we experience somebody, who's angry with us or puts us down or whatever, that we have this inner strength to sustain any discomfort from the outside, because that is life, right? But how do we deal with it? And how do we stand up to it, basically? Now, that's what I'm talking about. And growth is essential, in my opinion. And just what we make of our life, how successful we are in our life, depends on our self-worth. And that's something that I realized a long time ago, actually, or not so long ago, whatever perspective you put on it. But it's about 10 years ago, a decade ago, I realized how much our self-worth has got to do with the success that we allow into our life. However, like I said, success, let me use that term as it is, because you can define it as you wish. Materialistic or with happiness, whatever. Success is defined as a goal we set for ourselves that we pursue and achieve. That's success. Yeah, that's a successful person. Setting a goal, pursuing it, achieving it. And then we get this kick, this happiness, this dopamine that kicks in, the hormones that make us feel really, really great because we achieved something. Yeah, that's what we are about, the human race. That's what we are about, achieving. And so whatever success you set for yourself, it's about your self-worth, whether you allow it into your life, whether you pursue it, whether you feel you deserve it. And that's what I want to dive into deeper today because our self-worth, and that's where I put all my focus, because I mentioned before, people who come to me, they come with issues, they come with symptoms, but the bottom line, in most cases, in the majority, 70%, 80% is self-worth and their own perception of themselves, what they deserve and, what they haven't deserved. And the connection between those two, I would like to just throw a little light on today with you, okay? Self-worth is the internal sense of being good enough and worthy of love and belonging from others. That's the definition. The internal sense of being good enough and worthy of love and belonging from others. So, when I grew up, I was not aware of the connection between the degree of self-worth that we carry within us and the quality of life that we lead, or the partners we choose, for example. That realization really hit me about only 10 years ago, when I started studying all about our mindset and the power of thought, and I started practicing hypnosis and meditation and, just occupying myself more and more with this topic and those tools. And that's when I realized how important it is and how valuable it is, and at the same time how destructive things that happen in the past can be, and the impact negative experiences can have on us for our future, for the adult we become, yeah? So what it boils down to is what you are, or rather what you feel worth. How much worth do you feel inside of you? How much do you deserve? How much do you allow into your life? How much happiness? Yeah. And basically, looking back, when I did those hypnosis sessions and graduated as a hypnotherapist, obviously I went into hypnosis many, many times, and things that came up were just unbelievable. I never realized how big an impact those incidents had. Yeah. Even the smallest things that seem so insignificant at the time, they can have a huge impact on our lives and on our self-perception, on our self-worth, which is, our topic today. For example, my English teacher at that time, when I think it was 10, 11 years old, he told me that I was the nail to his coffin, which in English, I guess you say, I was the last straw that broke his camel's back. I think that's how it's literally translated. So that's what I was told when I raised my hand, and he, actually did let me say something, because that wasn't often the case. I grew up bilingual and sometimes knew more than the teacher, the German teacher who taught English. His accent was diabolical. He had a very strong German accent, and the things he said at times weren't correct, and I raised my hand proud as a peacock and corrected him. And obviously teachers don't like to be corrected, so he ignored me most of the time and left me just raise my hand constantly, but didn't take me on. And as a kid, I thought, what am I doing? I thought I was not right. I was being wrong. I did something wrong. Kids tend to look for the fault within them. And I felt awful, and I hated going to English classes in the end. And this went on for years, into my teens. And that had a huge impact on me. I didn't know what I did wrong, trying to do everything right. Another teacher, shortly before the A-level exam, he didn't like me for some reason. And I had been studying with my fellow students for months and months for this final exam on geography. It was about Japan and China, and we'd been studying really, really hard. And after the exam, the written exam, he had the choice to give me, either 10 points or 11 points, and I needed 11 to pass. But he chose to give me 10, and the fellow colleagues, spoke to him and begged him to give me that point so I wouldn't fail. But he felt the power within him to give me 1 point less. And I failed, and I had to repeat the whole year. I couldn't attend the prom. I couldn't celebrate with my fellow students. And it was devastating, to say the least. I cried for weeks until a friend of mine who also failed finally decided to convince me to try again. But my whole world was shattered. And that because of one bloody, I'm not going to use that word, but point. It was just absolutely devastating for me. And I lost 1 year of my life, so to say. And not only that, forget about the year, but my self-image was destroyed. I created this belief that no matter how hard I try, no matter how hard I study, the control is in somebody else's hand anyway. It's not in my control. And that as well, in my hypnosis sessions, I realized what impact that had on my life. Okay, so I'm just saying, I just want to give you an idea of, these were major incidents for me now, but it can also be, us being bullied as children, being left out. We want to belong. We're sociable species. We have to belong. We survive on being part of the tribe. And being isolated and bullied is huge for a child. It's destructive and absolutely, destroys the self-worth, to say the least. And that belief and those thoughts in the head are created. I'm not good enough. I don't belong. I haven't deserved to be part of, the cool kids. I'm this, that, and the other. It's just negative language being programmed into our brain. And that needs, attention, and it needs reprogramming. That's the only way we can overcome those limiting beliefs and those destructive, negative thoughts that we created in the past. And I just want to give you a brief, insight or just awareness also as to how big an impact things can be. And it can also just be a look from the parent, from the mother, from the father, just rolling the eyes. What are you doing? And taking away something that you're trying to figure out and do by yourself, but the parents take it away and do it for you, indicating that you can't do it and you're not smart enough to do it, or you're taking too long or whatever, right? So we have the need. That's our basic need, is to belong and to be part of a tribe in order to survive and to be loved. And if we don't receive receive those acknowledgments in our childhood, if we're constantly being deprived of those, that's when we create those limiting beliefs. Now, also as regards to perhaps our beliefs around money or receiving, there again, if we watch our parents on a daily basis fighting over money, or if we ask for something in the supermarket and the mother says, no, we can't afford that, over and over again, then money becomes this negative attachment, a negative vibe, and we go into a battle with the money, and we can never come to peace with it. It'll never flow our way easily because money is a problem. Everything related to money was a problem in the past, so that's what we make it in the future and in the present, right? The father never being present, always working, constantly working, and coming home wanting to be left alone. All those things have an impact on the way we think and on the way we talk to ourselves. And the way we talk to ourselves defines our self-worth? Do you look in the mirror and say, oh God, I'm gorgeous today. I look so beautiful. Look at my hair. Look at my features. Or do you look in the mirror and say, my goodness, there's another wrinkle. There's, I look bloated today, whatever. Our self-worth is defined by the way you speak to yourself. And it has a huge impact on how you feel about yourself. And how you feel about yourself has an impact on the decisions you make for yourself, what you actually do on a daily basis, right? So the more self-worth we feel within us, the more we take care of ourselves. And as you know, I like to address the mental side of things and the physical side. Also the energetic, but I'm going to leave that for today. That would be too long. So we need to set healthy boundaries. Say no when we don't feel like doing something. We need to put ourselves first, to a certain degree. This healthy selfishness, putting the oxygen mask on first when the pressure drops in the plane, right? You know that one. So if we don't do that, if we don't take care of ourselves, nobody else does. And there's something that needs to be revealed and healed if we don't take care of ourselves. Because that is the basis for a happy and really, really prosperous life. So if we're lacking self-worth, we will not take care of ourselves. Not on a physical, not on a mental area, on a mental level. It's just something that needs to heal within us. Yeah, and that's what I want to address today. Now, don't misunderstand me. Selfishness, is positive. I mean it in the most positive way, like taking care of ourselves so we can take care of others. And I have become more selfish during the past decade, but in a healthy way. I set boundaries now. I tell people when I don't want to do something. And I still love helping people and going out of my way to help people because that's who I am and that still makes me happy. But nevertheless, you can still have a healthy balance between taking care of yourself and being there for others. Yeah? So this is what it's about. Now, the good news here is if you discover that you need healing and you have something in the past that still obstructs your growth and your personal happiness and your freedom, it's never too late to actually do something about it. And that's where this awareness comes in again that I mentioned during the last episodes. It's this awareness and then intentionality, setting an intention, setting a goal for yourself, and taking action or reaching out for help. Those three pillars that are so, so important if you want a change in your life, right? So we are not trapped in our past, as you might think now. It is an impact. It had an impact on you, or in my case with the teachers, it had an impact. But I learned and I realized that you can, once the awareness is there and the understanding is there, that is healing in itself. That's a huge part of healing. And then from that perspective of self-empowerment and knowing I can do something about it, there's nothing better than that. There's no better feeling than actually taking control of your life and taking control of your thoughts and the direction that your life is going to go. Right? Can you follow me? I hope you can, because this is so, so powerful. So you are not a victim of your past and you're not trapped in your past. Change can happen now and now and now. So it can happen at all times. And that's the powerful message that I want to be very, very clear on today. Yeah, It can affect you. It made you, whatever happened in the past, made you the person you are today. However, it's in your control and it's in your power to make a change, to dissolve anything that happened in the past, and to take control of what will happen in the future. Okay? Now, how can we actually take control of our thoughts? Because as you know, those negative thoughts, they are powerful. They are all over the place. And they're good at what they're doing because they were created in the past, though, to protect us and to keep us safe and to keep us in our comfort zone. So what can we do to actually overcome those and take control of those negative thoughts and limiting beliefs, if you wish? So the fact is, we were born with this endless self-love and self-worth. It was the society, the siblings, the teachers, whoever in the past who, just gradually, bit by bit, more and more took that from us to a certain degree, some more, some less. So you can claim it back. And let's start with the language in your head, this negative, destructive language that pops up sometimes when you're all ready to go and, to go for a newly set goal. And then this language creeps in and says, who are you to think you can actually do that? Who are you, going to your boss asking for a pay rise? What makes you think that you've deserved that? Your colleague is much better. She's performing much, much better than you. So why would you get a pay rise? This language and these voices in your head, they're the ones you need to take control of. So we need to stop those ants, right? The automated negative thoughts. Dr. Daniel G. Amen came up with this term first in Change Your Brain, Change Your Life, his book, in which he describes exactly that, how those thoughts take control of our mind. Now, we do tend to have more negative thoughts because they are there to protect us, to keep us safe, to be aware of the threats around us. Well, in the past, millions of years ago, we needed that. Still to a certain extent, but not as much as we used to when we were living in the bushes, right? So how can we actually, eliminate or let go of these negative thoughts that are holding us back and that are stopping us from stepping out of our comfort zone, yeah? So what Dr. Daniel G. Amen recommends is, once you're aware of this negative thought that comes to your mind, obviously you need to have this awareness about it. Like I mentioned, awareness is everything. Now, once you have this awareness of a thought that enters your mind, when you realize that you're thinking, why is he so attractive? Why am I looking the way I look? Comparing yourself to others, lifting them onto a pedestal, putting yourself down. Something like that, for example. Once you're aware of that, you need to write it down. You write down the negative thought, and then you go into a debate with it, and you bring up all the positive contradictions. You contradict that negative thought, but in writing. And you can do that with your most favorite ants, like the ones that are constantly following you throughout the day. Again, having this awareness of, what you're thinking, what you're telling yourself. And also with thoughts that just pop up randomly. But it's important that you have this awareness. And if you're out and about and you don't have the time or the facilities now to sit down and write them down, what I find very powerful that I learned in a workshop at one point is just to imagine this thought like a sushi restaurant. When you go into a sushi restaurant, one of the kinds where the sushi goes around on little plates, right? You sit at the counter and the plates just come and go, and you take your pick. You choose which one you want. And if you envision this sushi restaurant and the plates going around in circles, and every plate is one of your thoughts, and you pick out the one that is positive, the one that you benefit from, that you like. And the negative thought, when that comes into your mind, you just imagine it's one of those sushi plates on, passing by, and you're not taking it, you're acknowledging it, but you're letting it go. You're not giving it any energy and not any attention whatsoever. You're aware of it, but you let it go instantly. And that's the only way that you can actually take control of your thoughts. And once it's negative, once it's not beneficial for you, you let it go. Right? So try it. Try it every day for 2 minutes. That's a long time to be aware of your thoughts. Because, like Dr. Joe Dispenza says, we have up to 6,000 to 9,000 thoughts a day. And the most of those thoughts are the same ones. And that's why we're turning around in circles. We're doing the same things. We're thinking the same things. We're feeling the same emotions. We're acting the same, all within our comfort zone. So if we want to thrive, if we want to be successful, if we want to grow and expand, we need to be aware of our thoughts. And we need to make sure that those thoughts are thriving for us and encouraging us to step out of our comfort zone, to overcome any fears or any limiting beliefs as well. Yeah, that's where the power lies within us. That's the only way that we can actually grow and expand. Now, secondly, as I mentioned before, I like to address the mental level and the physical level. In all my work, I always see a connection, and I always find it essential to approach both and to pay attention to both. So we got your thoughts, we got your mind to a certain degree. I mean, there's much more to it, obviously, which I can't cover all in one episode. But if we address now the physical side of things, there are so many small things you can do for yourself in order to feel good and in order to feel worthy, right? And that can mean anything from going to the hairdresser, going shopping, buying yourself a new outfit, to just going to a nice restaurant once in a while, eating healthy food on a daily basis, though. Just making sure that you take care of yourself, yeah? That you put healthy food into your body, that you drink lots of water, that you work out, that you exercise on a daily or every second day basis, that you meditate, that you allow this peace in your head at some point, that you don't always have to be on. Allow yourself or treat yourself to turning off your phone once in a while. There are so many small things you can do on a physical level that make you feel good. Even, taking a bath, putting on makeup for yourself, putting on perfume for yourself. Not for somebody else, for you, right? So every time I go live or I go on camera, I actually put on perfume. And I wear high heels. Nobody sees it, nobody smells it, but I do. And it feels good. And I feel much, much better in myself. So it's about the physical body always as well, that you feel good in yourself. Yeah, when you take a bath, you put lovely oil into the bath and you smell it and you feel so good when you come out. It's like a rebirth, isn't it? Showering and bathing. Taking a cold shower. I love Wim Hof. I do it every morning. After my shower, I get a icy cold shower, and it's so invigorating. I know some of you might scream now, but say, "Oh no way, never ever!" But you can get used to anything and literally get to enjoy it. Actually, believe me, because I do, and I usen't. So that's the physical side of things that you can take control of, right? I know it's not always easy, and I think if we allow ourselves like 15 minutes, 30 minutes every morning, I find it the most powerful in the morning to do those routines. And it's so essential. Again, I listened to Jordan Peterson, who pointed out that it's so important that people, you cannot be mentally stable without a routine. That's what he said. And I find that so powerful. And at first I thought, oops, okay. But I agree. It's just routines are so essential for our personal growth. And the morning routine especially, because it sets us off for the day. Now, also in the evening before going to sleep, visualizing, journaling, gratitude list. There are so many things that you can do within a very, very small window that have such a huge impact, though, on your self-worth, on your self-perception, and on your envisionment of the future. Yeah, it gives you purpose, it gives you direction. And so that's what I'm I'm trying to get this across so adamantly, because it helped me so much in my personal growth and development. And it helps all the people I work with. And I see the transformation happening, and I see the progress within the people. And that's what counts. And that's what's rewarding for everybody involved, okay? So it's been a very, very impacted time. I hope you can follow. I hope you can perhaps, if you're listening on the go home and listen again, take notes, write down everything that you find beneficial for yourself, because that's the only way we do grow, by repeating and by practicing the things that we learn. Now, also, I would love to invite you. It's only a week away now. On the 26th of October, I have a 3-day free masterclass coming up. The Self-Worth Accelerator Masterclass, it's called. And it's for free. It's 3 days in a row, 26th, 27th, 28th of October. Plus, I am offering on the side for all participants a section, the VIP lounge, in which we get together in a Q&A Zoom call where I do one-on-one counseling, and also we're doing a hypnosis session within this VIP area, which is focusing on self-worth and success and how to achieve your goals with energetic alignment, because the part we didn't touch upon today is also the energetic side of things. Getting in the high vibration, as much as structure and a plan is important, the huge part, or even bigger part, is your energetic vibration and your feeling within, that you're happy and that you're feeling contented on a daily basis. So that is even more powerful, and that's more rewarding and goal orientated for you, okay? But we're going to touch upon that in another episode, as well as during those 3 days. So feel free, I'm going to add the link in the show notes, and feel free to join the masterclass. I'd love to see you there. It's taking place in my group, in my Facebook group, or even, join the VIP lounge and come together with powerful people and me one-on-one. I'd love to see you there. Thanks so much for showing up, and take care. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to today's podcast. I really appreciate your presence. Now, if you want to experience the full power of your subconscious mind, to manifest more abundance and self-worth, leading to more success and overall contentment from within, well, I've got a gift for you. The Self-Worth and Success Hypnosis audio on my website is available for you as a free download. It helps you to unconsciously let go of negative self-talk and money or receiving blocks. You get to rewire and reprogram your mind for success and abundance. This recording has already helped so many people to let go of limiting beliefs and negative blueprints that they didn't even know they had. You can find their testimonies on my website. I promise it's so powerful. Also, I would love to invite you to join my value-packed Visionary Masterclass program. It teaches you all about the power of your thoughts and how to get out of your comfort zone and reach a higher self. You learn step by step how you can reach your goals by setting a focused intention and experience more self-love and a healthy body image with ease and energetic alignment within only 21 days. You can find all my offers and content on my website, www.soniamariahorn.com/en. And of course, you can find all the links in the show notes. So I look forward to seeing you next time on the Self-Worth Accelerator podcast. Until then, take care and reach out to me anytime. I'm here for you.